So we have to find the energy stored in an inductor. Here you can see an inductor which is connected to a cell of EMF E. You have a key. Key is open. When the key is closed, a current flows through the circuit. A current flows through the circuit. I current. But since this is an inductor, there will be an EMF produced, back EMF. There will be a back EMF produced. If this current is increasing, imagine this current was increasing. If it was an AC source, the current will increase, right? So if current is increasing, we say that there is growth of current. So when there is growth of current, there will be back EMF produced. There will be back EMF produced. Clear? Which will oppose the growth of current. But since we have to establish a current in the circuit, there has to be some work done by the inductor. The inductor has to do some work in order to establish a current in this circuit. Because when current is increasing, we say that there is growth of current. When there is growth of current, there is a back EMF produced in the coil, which opposes the growth of current. But since we have to establish a current in the circuit, this inductor has to do some work. And that work will be stored in the form of energy. Because we know that work and energy are equivalent to each other. You will do only that much work, or you will do work as equal to your energy. If you have 5 joule of energy, you will do only 5 joule of work, right? Because after that your energy will be exhausted. So energy and work are equivalent to each other. So in order to find the energy of any device, what we do is that we find the work done by that device, and we equate it to energy. So here also you have to find the work done by the inductor to establish a current in this circuit, and you will say that work is stored in the form of energy, because work and energy are equivalent to each other. Because work and energy are equivalent to each other. So for that, what we do is that we know that what is power. What is power? Simply, what is power? It is the rate of doing work, right? So if we are doing a very small work, imagine, in a very small time. If inductor is doing a very small work in a small time, what will be that small work? dW. It will be pdt. Am I right? It will be pdt. Because power is defined as rate of doing work, right? Power is rate of doing work. So P is W by T. If the inductor is doing a very small work, we have to only find the small work done by the inductor, and we will integrate it so that we get the total work. So in a small time, small work. So dW by dt, which is P. From here you get dW. What is dW? P into dt. So this will be our starting equation. dW is equal to P dt. Right? And you know that power is equal to VI from your previous classes. Power is equal to voltage into current. So power is VI. This is equation number 2. This is equation number 1. Substituting 2 in 1, what will you get? dW is equal to VI. Okay, here we have EMF, right? So instead of V we can write E, right? So instead of voltage we can write EMF. So EMF into current into dV. This will be your main equation. Equation number 3. Clear? Now, by applying Kirchhoff's second rule. What was Kirchhoff's second rule? The algebraic sum of voltages in a closed circuit will be. See, the EMF of the cell is E. What is the induced EMF in this coil? If the inductance is L, what will be the induced EMF here? Minus L di by dt. Am I right? From self-induction. So here the EMF is E. Here the back EMF is minus L di by dt. So E minus L di by dt. This is the sum of voltage, right? In this circuit. This should be equal to 0, right? The cell's EMF is E. The EMF which is induced in the coil is minus L di by dt. This is the induced EMF equation that you have found from self-induction. So E minus L di by dt would be equal to 0. Clear? So from here, can I write E is equal to L into di by dt? E is equal to L into di by dt. So this will be equation number 4. Substituting 4 in 3. 4 and 3. What will you get? dW is equal to, instead of E, you can write L di by dt multiplied by I dt. Right? dt and dt gets cancelled and you will be left with L di I. Right? Or you can write Li di. Li di. L into I into dA. This is what is small work. If we integrate the small work, what will you get? You will get the total work. Right? Why is the conductor doing the work? In order to establish a current in the circuit. Imagine the current was 0. Imagine the current was, initial current was 0. You have to establish a current. That means you have to bring a current I in the circuit. So the current should be increased from 0 to I or I naught. You want to establish a current in this circuit. For that, inductor has to do a work. Why is inductor doing a work? In order to increase the current, right? Here you can see di. So there is change in current. The current will be changing from 0 to I or I naught. Putting the limits of current. Because you know that in the beginning there will be no current. Why? Back EMF will oppose the growth of current. So there will be no current. But the inductor will do a work and it will try to establish a current in this circuit. So it will bring a current. So the initial current would be 0. From there it will bring a current I0 in this circuit. So putting the limits, lower limit is 0, upper limit is I naught. So integral dW will be W. Right? When you integrate a small work, you get the total work done by that inductor. And since L is a constant, right? Self-inductance, it will come out of the integral. So L, inside integral, you have I dA. From 0 to I naught. These are the limits of current. What is IDA? Integral IDA. What was integral x dx? What is integral x dx? It is x square by 2. Am I right? Because x to the power 1. This is of the general form x raised to n dx. Integral x raised to n dx. The expansion of integral x raised to n dx is x raised to n plus 1 by n plus 1. This is the general form. Integral x raised to n dx is equal to x raised to n plus 1 by n plus 1. If so, what will be x dx? Here n will be 1, right? So x to the power n is 1 plus 1 by 1 plus. So you get x square by. What is integral x cube dx? Can you tell me? What is integral x cube dx? N is 3, right? So x to the power 3 plus 1 by 3 plus 1. It will be x raised to 4 by 4. So this is how you do. So what will be integral I dA? I to the power 1 dA, right? So it will come out to be L into I square by 2. You have to put the limits. The lower limit is 0, upper limit is I naught. I naught coming to the place of I. So it becomes L into I naught square by 2. 0 when comes to I, it becomes 0 by 2, which is 0. It is upper limit minus lower limit, right? This is how you do. This is your lower limit, this is your upper limit. So upper limit minus lower limit. So you can write like this, L into, when upper limit is put into I, it becomes I naught square by 2 minus, what is lower limit? 0. 0 in the place of I. So it becomes 0 square by 2. What is 0 square by 2? It's 0. So you are left with I0 square by 2. So L into I0 square by 2 will be your work done by the inductor. And this work will be stored in the form of energy. L I naught square by 2 or Li square by 2. It's not necessary it should be I naught. It can be I also. You can increase the current from I to 0 to I. If so, it will be Li square by 2. Since we are increasing the current from 0 to I naught, it becomes Li square by I naught square by 2. Where L is self-inductance. What is U? Potential energy. Right? Because work is stored in the form of energy. Work and energy are equivalent to each other. So after finding the work, you will equate it with energy. So U will be L I naught square by 2. Clear? Imagine the self-inductance of this coil was 2 Henry and the current passing through this was 1 ampere. What would be the energy stored in the inductor? Can you tell me? It will be 1 by 2 Li square, right? So it becomes half into, what is L? L is 2 Henry. So 2 into, what was I? 1 square. So you will get 1 joule. You get answer? 1 joule. So the energy stored in the inductor becomes 1 joule. This is how you find the energy stored in an inductor. So you have an inductor in the circuit. We have said that when a current flows through this circuit, or if the current increases through this circuit, there is a growth of current. This growth of current will be opposed by back EMF. In order to establish a current through this circuit, what inductor has to do is that inductor has to do some work. And that work will be stored in the form of energy. So in order to find the energy stored in an inductor, we will try to find the work done by the inductor. So inductor will do a work and it will establish a current in this circuit. For that, we have to find the small work done by the inductor. We know that power is equal to work by time. So if we have to do a small work, it can be written as dW. In a small time, then dt. So P will be equal to dW by dt. From there, you will get the small work dW, which is P into dt. So here you got dW is equal to P into dt. What is power in case of electric circuit? It is voltage into current. Here voltage is EMF E. So EI. So substituting in place of P, EI. We got the main equation, which is equation number 3. Then we are going to apply Kirchhoff's second rule, which is called voltage rule. Kirchhoff's second rule or voltage rule says that the algebraic sum of voltage in a closed circuit will be 0. Here we have EMF E. Here we have induced EMF in the coil, which is minus L di by dt. So the algebraic sum will come out to be E minus L di by dt equal to 0. From there you get an idea of EMF E, which is L di by dt. On substituting the value of EMF E in equation number 3, you get dW is equal to L di by dt multiplied by I dt. dt and dt gets cancelled. You get Li di, which is your small work dW. When you integrate small work, you will get the total work. And here we know that there is only change in current. L is a constant, right? The only thing which is changing is current. Initially there is no current. You have to establish a current in the circuit. Imagine you are going to establish a current I0. So your lower limit will be 0 because there was no current initially. Then you are trying to establish a current I0. So the lower limit of current becomes 0. Upper limit becomes I0. Since you have to put the limits in integral, you have to know about the change in current, which is 0 to I0. So lower limit is 0, upper limit is I0. So 0 to I0. What is integral dW? It is W. When you integrate small work, you get the total work. So it's W, which is equal to L is a constant self-inductance. Taking L outside the integral, you get L into integral 0 to I0 IdI. What is IdI, integral IdI? I square by 2. Because integral x raised to n dx is x to the power n plus 1 by n plus 1. Right? So IdI, integral IdI becomes I square by 2. And on putting the upper limit and lower limit, we get L I0 square by 2 as the work done by the inductor. And this work which is done by the inductor will be stored in the form of energy. This will be the energy of the inductor. Clear? So we have written U, which is energy, as L I0 square by 2, where L is self-inductance, I0 is current. Clear? What will be the unit of energy? It is in joules. Clear? Note it down.